faculty room was deserted. Empty chairs lit at odd angles, shoved away from their desks. A coat rack slumped, flushing off gloves and scarves. On a shelf, a wind-up novelty clock pecked its kernels of time. At 10 that evening, the last class of the day was over. A pale-eyed woman walked into the smoking room and laid a stack of books on her desk. She sat down in a chair, one leg over the other, picked up a half-smoked cigarette from her ashtray, and lit it, dragging deeply. She blew out a gust of smoke. She looked up to see a smooth-faced man enter the room. She blew out a gust of smoke in his direction. Watching him slide a pack of Paw Golds from his shirt pocket. Jesus, I don't know how you smoke those damn things, she said. Oops. Seoul, South Korea. The faculty room was deserted. Empty chairs lurched at odd angles, shoved away from their desks. A coat rack slumped, sloughing off gloves and scarves. On a shelf, a wind-up novelty clock pecked at kernels of time. At 10 that evening, the last class of the day was over. A pale-eyed woman walked into the smoking room and laid a stack of books on her desk. She sat down in a chair, swung a leg over the armrest, picked a half-smoked cigarette from her ashtray, and lit it. Dragging deeply. She looked up to see a smooth-faced man enter the room. She blew out a gust of smoke in his direction, watching him slide a pack of Paw Golds from his shirt pocket. Jesus, I don't know how y'all smoke those damn things, she said. He snapped open an imitation scripto lighter, lit up. The lighter snapped shut. To think you're a teacher of English, he said. If you must use y'all, use it correctly. It's a plural pronoun. I'm singular. Hell, I'll vouch for that. The pale-eyed woman took another long drag, while the smooth-faced man picked up a pen and carefully drew a red X to December 20th, 1988 on his calendar. He dropped the pen on his desk, went to the rack, began to search for his coat. That moment, an elegantly attired young man arrived. He hoisted a foot under the seat of the nearest chair and began to buff his shoe with a handkerchief. A pointy-faced woman came in behind him. A lit cigarette trailing. The elegant man gave a last touch to his shoe. Hey, Ace, a drink with the Italian stallion? He asked the pointy-faced woman. Not tonight. I gotta dust the fringe on my couch. She thrust a few things into her desk, locked it, and went for the coat rack. By the way, said the smooth-faced man as the pointy-faced woman was getting into her coat, Lester called in to ask about that progress report. The pointy-faced woman jammed down her gloves. Cigarette still clamped in her mouth. She said, "Progress, Margaret." She twisted a long purple scarf several times around her neck, carefully avoiding the cigarette. "I don't do nothing half-assed night, but ain't about to start me out of please Lonnie Lester." She muttered, "Good night." She went out amid a ragtag wake of goodbyes. "Bye, goodbye." "What about you, old bloody old chap? Couple of brews?" the elegant fellow asked his colleague. The smooth-faced man shook his head. "Not I, sorry. I promised my students these papers. Anyway, I'm not fully recovered from Saturday night." "Well, I'll join you. I could use a beer," said the pale-eyed woman. She stabbed out her cigarette and disentwined herself from the chair. The smooth-faced man pressed out his cigarette. He gave a tug to his coat and said, "Good night, all," nodded at an older woman as they crossed paths in the doorway and went out whistling. The older woman sat down. She lit a cigarette, laid it in the ashtray. And began to sort out her paperwork. She drew a red line through a sentence, held the page at arm's length, and considered it critically. Pondering, she took a drag off her cigarette and blew smoke rings onto the page. The pale-eyed woman tossed her books into a desk drawer, shoved it closed, and went to the coat rack. The elegant man followed suit. As they were leaving, a curly-haired woman came in. The pale-eyed woman asked her, "Any word from Beverly?" "No, I called a while ago and there was still no answer." "Maybe somebody should go over to her place." "I think Lester was going to go by." "Well, I'll see y'all tomorrow," said the pale-eyed woman as she and the elegant man departed. "Wow, everybody cleared out of here early tonight," said the curly-haired woman. She sank into a chair and pulled the book bag out from beneath her desk. She said, "I wish I could leave now, but I've got a million things to do." The older woman arose, put her paperwork away, and locked her desk, slid her cigarettes into her purse, and closed the clasp. She ground out her cigarette and put on her coat at the door. "Good night, see ya," said the curly-haired woman. The only reply was the sound of footsteps retreating. An hour later, the smoking room light was flicked off. Shadows slumbered in the gray shapes of vacant chairs. The bare silhouette of a coat rack struck out across a soot-dark wall. Another frozen second nicked the inky, empty air of a long Korean night.